Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our conversation about working from home, our changing world of wellness. How we can adapt to succeed when we work from home. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Lynne Ward. I'm co-founder and creator of pepperhustle.com. I would like to let you know that I understand the industry in which you work in because I myself worked in the IT industry for 16 years. As a systems engineer for one of the world's largest technology companies. I often clocked more than 60 to 70 hours in a working week, which was absolutely fine by me. But you know what? When you love your job, you would work more than that if you needed to. I now run a successful online wellness company called pepperhustle.com. We work with many corporations to deliver wellness in the workplace packages. We also coach global senior leaders on a one-to-one basis to help restructure priorities so that they can continue to highly function within the workplace without neglecting their mental and physical wellness. We thoroughly believe that when the body and mind are in harmony, happiness is the true result. Now, bringing us back to the thing that is surrounding us all at the minute, there's no denying that events happening across the globe have changed the way that we currently live. And with that becomes a necessity for us to change in how we live in our day-to-day lives. For a lot of us, working from home from 9 to 5 was a nice thing to do maybe 2-3 days a week. But when you have been catapulted into a life where you're having to work from home 5 days a week, being surrounded by your family if you have family and children, and having to deal with everything that that brings. Not only are we socially isolated from our family and friends, we're also socially isolated from our work colleagues, from our managers, from that personal connection, that personal touch that we've all become so familiar with. However, with this comes great opportunity. You just need to recognize it. We are now in a situation where we must create a work-life balance that succeeds. We have all been given an opportunity by our companies and our corporations that we work for to prioritize our wellness. But guess what? Your corporation isn't going to solve the problem for you. Finding a work-life balance is entirely up to you. So, this is your opportunity to refocus. It's your opportunity to reevaluate and make changes that are going to ensure that you live a happier and a healthier life. But you must understand that the only person who can set boundaries between work and home life is you. Working from home is going to push those boundaries more than you've ever known before. But it really is up to you. You need to set and enforce the boundaries in your life so that you can maintain a healthy balance, boost your physical, emotional, and mental wellness. But guess what? You will be able to do it. And you will be able to do it successfully if you implement the right strategy. You now have an opportunity to build a life that works for you and your family, a life that is achievable and sustainable. And I want to ask, if you're not a person that prioritizes self-care and wellness, I want you to take a little minute now to think about why that is. We have something within us that I like to call the circle of control. The circle of control is made up of 3 things: how you think, how you act, and how you feel. No one else has any control over these things. No one else has control over how you think. No one else has control over how you act. No one else has control over how you feel. And if they do, it's because you have given them permission to do so. How you think, how you act, and how you feel are the crux of who you are as a person. They're the crux of how you get from A to B, how you get from one day to the next, and whether you are feeling well within yourself or whether you're not feeling well within yourself. So I like to speak to my clients about the 3 pillars of a well-rounded life. Each of these pillars are as important as each other, and they are fitness, nutrition, and mindset. What if I was to tell you that you have access to something right now that you can do that doesn't have to cost money, that maybe costs a little bit of time, but it is something that can improve your mood, your focus, and your happiness. And that is fitness. Exercise is not about weight loss. Exercise is about feeling good. The prefrontal cortex of the brain, which just sits right behind the forehead, is critical for things like focus, attention, and indeed your personality. Exercise has been scientifically proven to create pathways in the brain to improve your mood, increase your energy levels, and increase your attention span. Exercise has literally an immediate effect on your brain. One single exercise increases the level of neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, which immediately increase your mood. Why? Because they are happy hormones. When you exercise, you release a rush of happy hormones to the brain, and you immediately feel happier. One single workout can improve and shift your entire focus and attention. You bring that into your daily life, and this will help with your physical health, but also your mental focus and clarity. It doesn't need to be longer than 20 to 30 minutes, and it doesn't need to be more than 4 to 5 days a week. And I have a mantra that I like to tell everybody. If we look at the lower parts of that, where we can work out from 20 to 30 minutes, you choose 20 minutes, you can do anything for 20 minutes. It's not hard. You do have the time, and all you have to do is schedule it. Now, when we're in an environment of working from home, fitting in exercise to your daily schedule is as important as joining that 10 a.m. team meeting. You can do 20 minutes before you start work at your desk. You can do 20 minutes during your lunchtime, or you can do 20 minutes whenever you wrap up for the day. The choice is yours. But there is one thing that is for certain. If you start to bring movement into your day, you will literally begin to function better. You will have more energy, you will be happier, and your relationships will explode in a good way. The next thing that we come on to is nutrition. The 3 pillars of good health: fitness, nutrition, exercise. Nutrition for me, I'm also a qualified nutritionist, and nutrition for me is something that is so important. The one intriguing thing about the bacteria that sit in the gut is that previously when we discussed about fitness, releasing dopamine and serotonin, the happy hormones, the gut bacteria can actually produce chemicals of identical structure to our brain's own neurotransmitters, which are chemicals like serotonin and dopamine. If you nourish your gut bacteria with the right diet, you can improve both your physical and mental health. And there's research going on all the time, continually, that is now increasingly telling us that the gut is our second brain, that our gut health gives a direct link and connection to our brain, which is our mental health. Making good choices during your working day are so important. Drinking enough water and limiting the mindless snacking that we all do when we work from home. Now, more so than ever, you must tune into your nutrition. When you work within the technology world, you love what you do. It's addictive. 5 more minutes. I'll have lunch. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. And suddenly you're at your desk and you're typing away and you're immersed in what you're doing. And suddenly an hour, 2 hours have passed. And this is not a good thing. And the reason being that whenever we think about nutrition, It means that you're pushing out the time in which you're going to nourish your body with good food. If you neglect your nutrition, you're going to end up unfocused, you're going to end up cranky, you're going to end up making really bad decisions within your work and also with what you then choose to eat. We've got a fast track to the kitchen where we've got all our favourite foods, and all of our favourite foods include all of our favourite chocolates and crisps. All of the quick things to eat tend to be processed foods. These processed foods spike in your body, then create slumps, and you do not feel good afterwards. You feel sluggish, you feel tired, you just feel like you're just not yourself, but you don't know why. And sometimes we don't tend to reflect on what we've put into our body as the reasons as to why we don't feel as well as we feel we should. The other thing about working from home, which also will carry on from being in the office, is that it's all too easy to eat your meals at your desk, to eat your meals while you're typing on the computer, while you're sending that urgent email. But it is one of the most destructive things that you can do for your body. When you work from home, it is so important that you schedule your breaks, that you take your break in the morning for your coffee, you close your laptop, you leave your phone behind. When you're having your lunch, don't be looking at the screen. You're going to be there all day, and now more important than ever that your office is within your home space. It's going to be so easy for you to just pop in and check that other email, pop in and quickly send back that response. But that is not right. You have to look after your nutrition. You have to look after yourself, because if you don't, someone else will. And you might not like what that plan looks like. If you don't block out your calendar, somebody else is going to fill it with a meeting. Somebody else is going to grab your time. Allow your breaks to be a time where you switch off from your working hours. You allow your headspace to be empty, and that you can be fully present. Because if you allow yourself to do that, you again are on the right path to work-life balance and on the right path to creating mental wellness, physical wellness, and emotional wellness when around you everything is in turmoil. The third pillar that I mentioned is mindset. And I've left mindset the last, not because it's the least important, but actually because it's the most important. We know we should be working out. We know we should be eating better. But do you know that you actually should be taking care of your mindset more than anything? Our mind is the crux of our being. It's the one thing that allows us to experience things. It allows us to work. It allows us to feel joy. It allows us to deliver kindness, to feel loved, to deliver compassion. But it is the same mind that we depend on to be focused, to be creative, and also the same mind that helps us perform at the very, very best that we can at any given time. And there's one thing about the mind. When we don't look after it, we become stressed. But you know what? Like everything else, it does not need to be like that. 10 minutes a day directed towards reflection can affect your entire life. I want each of you now to have a little second to think about the last time that you actually switched off. And I mean switched off. Where you weren't on your phone, where the television wasn't on, where you weren't playing computer games, where you weren't even reading a book, where you were not having a conversation with somebody, where you literally were just you, with a clear mind. Reflection and 10 minutes of peacefulness a day can increase your happiness. You don't need to sit on the floor. You don't need to burn incense. You can journal, you can meditate, or you can practice gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most important emotions that human beings hold, because gratitude immediately makes everything better. No matter who we are, where we're from, what our background is, we have something in our lives that we can be grateful for. Giving yourself moments to be mindful, moments of reflection, this 10 minutes that I've talked about, results in greater happiness within yourself. Decreased reactivity, higher creativity, stronger performance, and a whole round richer life. And I want to bring you back to the decreased reactivity. And this is something that I feel is really important to discuss today. The reason being, when you work from home and you are detached from the office and you're detached from that human connection, when you don't see somebody's face, when you only have their words, emails, text messages can very easily be misconstrued. And they will be misconstrued if you're feeling stressed. It's important that you understand that sometimes your reaction to somebody's email, maybe you're the one who's picked it up wrong. I would encourage you within your nutrition breaks, where you're going for your coffee, you're going for your lunch, to Skype your friends that you used to have coffee with for a quick 10-minute chat. If you receive communication from the workplace that doesn't sit right with you, don't make assumptions that somebody was being ridiculous in how they sent it. Pick up the phone, talk to them, get onto Skype, video call. Now more than ever, it is so important when we are in a world that we are being socially distanced from people that we enjoy spending time with, as I mentioned before, from our colleagues, from our workplace, video conferencing, FaceTime, Skype, anything that you have on hand where you can see somebody's face, where you can read reactions, is only going to make your working day better. And it is so important that you hear this, because as soon as you get into that spiral of taking things the wrong way, you're on your own in your office. You don't have anybody to soundbite it off that you maybe would have previously in the canteen, or as you're walking down the corridor with somebody going to different meetings. So just be mindful. Giving yourself that 10 minutes can help you refocus, reconnect with yourself, and you can move forward in a very healthy, happy way in your day. Now, we have spoken about fitness, we've spoken about nutrition and mindset. Some of you may be like, yeah, whatever. But you know what? The reason that I'm doing this session today is because now more than ever, it is so important that we look after our mental wellness. There is a reason why businesses and corporations across the globe are giving permission to you to look after yourself. And again, I bring it back to, how do we bring this all together for success? And it really is quite simple. All you have to do is establish a daily routine. Within your daily routine, you waking up and you don't immediately reach for your mobile phone. You don't immediately turn on the television. You get up, you get dressed, you make your bed, and you give yourself 30 minutes of time out. This is a good time where you could maybe, do a little bit of a workout, or you could give yourself your 10 minutes of just being calm, with no noise, with no nothing around you. You can do whatever you want in that 10 minutes. Then you make a structure for your day. You decide for yourself at what time you're going to have breakfast. You decide at what time you're going to go and sit at your desk. And I repeat, desk. Do not work your full working day from the sofa, and certainly do not work your full working day from your bed. No matter how tempting that may be, it is not going to be good for your mental wellness and what you are delivering for your daily work. Set up an area in your home that is going to work for you. If you've got family, try and make that a little bit of a quiet area where you're not triggered, where your family and your partner being around don't trigger that stress reaction. It is so important that you hydrate. Don't neglect hydration, because that also has a massive effect on your mood and therefore has a massive effect on your happiness. So you've got your designated working area. And what I want you to do also is to think about how you can limit your social media interaction throughout the day. Because there's one thing that we are all very good at, and that is being distracted. Distracted by our phones, by a text message that we have received, distracted by social media. And now more than ever, we need to get a handle on that. Because although social media is a really good platform for connection, it is also a massive platform for distraction. And it might not even be doing you any good by being on social media. It all depends on how you use it and for what reasons. There's a lot of things that we need to think about establishing a morning routine. Establishing what time you're going to eat your lunch at. And if you say you're having your lunch at 12:30, you get up off your desk at 12:30 every day and you go and have your lunch. Don't bring your phone with you, which has got all of your work emails. Absolutely, it's a time to connect. You can definitely a routine for your day, you are more than likely to stick with it. And the better that you can form this routine, the quicker you can form it, the sooner you're going to be on the trajectory for your mental wellness, to be right up there, for your relationships to be really good, for the connections to be fabulous, and for everything else that you want your life to be. You can create it. As important as a morning routine is an evening routine, where you allow yourself some time to switch off. And I also mean switching off from technology, switching off from television, to allow yourself to begin calm, because it doesn't matter how many hours you spend sleeping. It's about how many hours of sleep that are actually quality sleep. And again, this is something that you can control. If you create an evening routine that allows you to switch off from the busyness of your day 30 minutes before you go to bed, you're going to have a better quality of sleep. And before you come into your evening routine, I just want to mention, within your schedule for the day, have a switch off time from the office. Don't be tempted to go back into the office if you're closing down at 5:30, 6 o'clock. Don't be tempted to go back in at 7. Don't be tempted to go back in at 8. Because if you were physically going to an office, you wouldn't be able to go back into your office at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. So don't allow yourself to do it now. And this is the things that you have control over. And it is so important that you take this control and you make it happen. Because if you don't, you're going to spiral down, out of control. It's going to affect your relationships. You're going to find yourself fighting more with your partner. Everybody's in the same boat. Try and schedule within that some time in your day to get out in the fresh air, to leave the confines of your 4 walls of your house or your apartment where you live, to open a window, to walk outside if you can, and to breathe in the fresh air. There are lots of things that we can do to help ourselves feel better, but it is entirely our responsibility to do it for ourselves. And I know something that is for sure. When you work long hours, you don't mind it. A lot of you don't even recognize it because you enjoy what you do. But it is not healthy. It will create problems later on in your life. So now that you've been given a chance to change how you act, to change how you think, change how you feel, for me, I would be grabbing that with both barrels. And I say that we've been given permission to do this. And we have. And the reason being is that it is a win-win for everybody. When you value yourself as an individual, when you create the life that you want to live that allows you to have your work-life balance, which is so, so important, you will reap the rewards both personally and professionally. You will feel happier, you'll be more productive, your self-esteem will improve, you'll increase your confidence, you'll sleep better, you'll have more energy, and I think I already mentioned, you'll be happier. Whenever we flip that over to the corporation side of things, this is why it's a win-win. Because they receive employees who are more productive, they're happier, and more productive, happier employees deliver better outcomes. There's a higher engagement rate across the board, there's an improved culture, and there is happiness at work. We must encourage that these communications are established. The happiness that I'm talking about is happiness that you yourself can help to create, and happiness that you yourself can continue to sustain. It is something that is within our grasp, something that we all have control over, but it's something that we can only do for ourselves. And I'm going to repeat, you've been given permission to look after your health, to look after your mental and emotional wellness, but no one can do it for you except you. When you think about how you think, how you act, and how you feel, if all of those don't give you a warm, fuzzy feeling of happiness, bring it back and assess your fitness, assess your nutrition, and assess your mindset. Thank you very much for listening. I open the floor if you have any questions